Otherwise, that would have been a case for Uzbekistan of get the party started.
They would love that.
It's been the part of our pre-match playlist.
Yeah. The sound of the Kings World Cup nations, the soundtrack.
Yes,
the Kings World Cup nations.
It will never overshadow Mahmoud, who'll be performing in Turin on Sunday.
On the 12th of January, don't forget, ahead of the Kings World Cup Nations final, and Colombia looking good to go all the way.
Mansurov nearly lost out to Angelot there, who is the heir apparent to James Rodriguez, wearing 10, wearing the captain's armband.
Yeah, El Capitano.
I think it's El Capitan.
El Capitan, Guarani, again, confusing with me Italian. We are in, of course, in Milan, in Vismara, home to AC Milan Academy.
Yep. We're nice and warm in here. This covered pitch. It's been a bit drizzly recently, so much so I got mud on my shoes on the way in. Slipping over in the car park. Here go Colombia again. In complete control here. It's been so one-sided this, but if we learn anything from Kings League, it's that the majority of matches are tight, even if the big moments come at the end of matches when goals are often worth double. Final 2 minutes of the 40, lest we forget. The scoreline is level, we go to a golden goal. Colombia have already prevailed in that manner, thanks to Alejandro Ortega. But if there were to be a team winning, then any goal that's scored in the final 2 minutes is worth double, which is what allowed Uzbekistan to come past Peru.
Yeah, let's not forget Uzbekistan also won thanks to a golden goal, their first match against Saudi Arabia, so they've also been involved in some late drama.
Fed through here, chance for number 5, and again, still there, what a finish! Slotted home, but it's offside, it won't count. The initial passage of play saw that man running through Axel Quintero. He was the wrong side of the last defender, so the neat finish on the volley from Angelot Carrot does not stand.
Well, that's a shame for Colombia. The joy short-lived, celebrations cut short, but they might be celebrating again shortly. Look at this from Danielson.
He's won it back and he leads the charge. But Uzbekistan have now got numbers behind the ball. Can he look forward to concede a 5th goal inside the first half? They might. That was Axel Quintero. And he charges off now, and we are 2.5 minutes away, Thomas, from the 18-minute mark. Remind newcomers to Kings League, and you and I were in that boat just 7 short days ago. What does it mean?
Now we're veterans, now we're experts. Yeah, we're going to have the Red Bull roll of the dice. So one of the presidents will roll the dice, and depends on the outcome of what comes out on the dice. There's a amount of players that will be involved in the final 2 minutes of play. And Patrick, you have to help me with my Portuguese here, but it's one of the Brazilian presidents, Estagiário, is that how you pronounce it? I don't know what that means, but...
yeah, that's estagiário.
Thank you.
Estagiário, which is an intern.
Oh, there you go, there you go. Good, so he'll be rolling the dice, and we'll see what happens. It could be a little turn. I hope it's a 1v1, no keepers, that's my favourite, but we'll see, we'll see.
He might keep this in play if he can square it. He could, but it's straight into the goalkeeper's hand, so yeah, is the equivalent of il. It's the masculine definite article, and then estagiário, the Brazilians would say. In Portugal we say estagiário, which is the equivalent of stagista, so intern.
Very nice. Listen, I know you're very humble, chap, but let me speak glowingly of you, and of course Super Simon Harmony, because you both speak multiple languages. I know you've got Portuguese, Italian, French, and of course mother tongue, and of course you dabble in other language, a bit of Spanish as well here and there. So let me be the one to pile on the praise, and Simon's with his French, obviously Italian, and naturally English as well. He is English like myself, so let me shout out to you. It's very useful to have a linguist here, especially when it comes to these pronunciations, which I've mangled on more than one occasion.
And you speak a bit of German, Thomas, so when the Germans are in action, we can certainly hear from you.
And we've said Auf Wiedersehen to the Deutsch yesterday, didn't we? Auf Wiedersehen, they went out to Mexico.
Yes, we did. And yesterday, in fact, when they were playing, it was Mo Leitner talking about unsere Mission, our mission. But their mission was failed, it was not accomplished.
Certainly not mission accomplished for them. It was mission impossible, one could say, against Mexico. Obed Martinez will be in action tomorrow for Mexico in the quarterfinals. But again, one step at a time, Tommy. Calm down, tranquillo, as the Colombians would say, and we've heard them say as we go into this final minute now, Patrick. We're almost there for that roll of the dice, which is very exciting. If you haven't seen it, you're going to see what happens in these final 2 minutes. And if you're a veteran and know all about the Kings League, Kings World Cup nations, well, you might be having your favourite option and your favourite outcome. For me, 1v1.
Here's the chance. Speaking of 1v1, nice give and go there for the Uzbeks. Camilo Mena tried to prevent the corner. He didn't succeed on that score. And you weren't here yesterday, Thomas, but I did handle that big bit of kit, the Red Bull dice. Let me tell you, it's surprisingly heavy. I posed for a photo op and I also tried to throw it from above my head. It's easier said than done. They have to get the shot away here, otherwise the buzzer will sound. They're asking for a flag there. Colombia, they wanted offside either way. The clock hits the 18-minute mark. It is now time for
the Red Bull roll of the dice, our energy break, energised by Red Bull. And it is, again, I apologise for my pronunciation, Ustagiado, who'll roll the Red Bull dice. Let's see the outcome. Let's see what happens here for the final 2 minutes, depending on the number that comes out on the face of the dice, or the die. I don't know exactly, I never know exactly what happens. The amount of players will be out on the pitch in the final 2 minutes. It is 4. So it's a 4v4, including keepers. So technically it's going to be sort of 3 outfield players and 1 in goal. So 4v4, but 3 outfield and 1 in between the sticks.
Absolutely. I think James Rodriguez is tucking into a Red Bull himself. We know that footballers, especially South Americans, tend to drink mate, but he is drinking what I can only assume is a cheeky Red Bull. But, you know, we're also in Milan, home of the Negroni Sbagliato Spritz. I know you've been out on the tiles, out on the town after your Kings League commitments.
Absolutely.
And Simon and I might be painting Turin red on Sunday night for the Viola. But away we go then. It is 3v3 plus keepers. The Colombians quick to win the back heel, but they've lost the ball. And Uzbekistan mean business here.
Great work.
They want to try and score, make it 4-1 and eat into this lead, which is very commanding indeed for the Cafeteros. Jablonblek, and for once we're not seeing that man Jabarov, not on court for the moment. Jablonblek
I just let it run. Looks like
corner kick.
Yeah, smart play, and he's taking it quickly.
Here's Jablonblek again, working it with the keeper. Slow ball though, really here. It is almost like rugby in some ways because of that offside line. You have to move it laterally. No real scope for forward passes. The keeper should have had a go there, in my opinion. Instead, he moves it wide. Here's the chance. There's Camilo Mena. Now he needs some help from his defenders. He gets it too. They've gone for goal. But Kitobchi got back. Elias Saradion Yangirov.
Had to be quick to get back. They had to. Darback was from the first half. He was caught out, leaving his goal open.
Camilo Mena's still down now. And Colombia won't want an injury to him. A reminder, he's already scored one. He's teed up another. He has had a hand in half of their goals. 2 goal contributions, as they say in the modern game. A goal and an assist. And some concern there for James Rodriguez, along with the Colombian streamers. And on the right side, top right of your picture there, that is Islam, who is the man who missed his penalty.
Also the Mexican president here, watching on. Maybe a bit of scouting, who knows, for a potential semi-final final. Gaby Montiel. It's not, in fact, we also saw Gaules early. It's not uncommon for the presidents, even if their sides are not playing, to come obviously to this manner, check out the opponents, enjoy the action, enjoy the spectacle. And the treatment continues here for Camilo, who not just involved with the goal. So there's a rallying cry there from the Uzbekistan
Islam,
president.
yeah. They're taking the opportunity just to bellow out from one side to the other. The players are gathered on the other side of the court, but it's getting his message across in his native tongue. And I suppose the good thing was we had lots of Spanish-speaking nations in the Kings World Cup nations. Uzbekistan are fairly unique. There's no other team that will be able to decipher what they're saying. Maybe if we had some former Soviet Union countries here, then they might be able to glean some of the message. But no, it's pretty indecipherable there. So Islam, I'm sure, might have come up with a special ploy here, a game plan to try and outfox the Colombians. We'll see whether any evidence of that now emerges.
There they go, and they get number 5.
They nearly did. It was that man Alejandro Ortega, who personally has been my preferred player in this tournament. I think he's got the lot. Ability, acrobatics when he celebrates. He's a showman, loves a bit of flair. If you remember the other day when he scored, Thomas, he wears Maro on the back 11. I think I said Maro
I do remember.
The Italian equivalent of my goodness, really.
I said, oh, very Milanese, and you quickly scolded me and said, that's more of a southern thing, Thomas.
Absolutely.
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you indeed.
Javlonbek under pressure there. They've got the traditional goalkeeper back on, but Angelot was fouled there. He keeps going, though, the number 10. Skipper, though, can't find a colleague, and Uzbekistan have it back, but they're running out of time. We're into added time at the end of this first half, of which there was a minute. Half of that's already been played. Uzbekistan need to be direct, need to get forward as quickly as they can. Javlonbek. But again, they're just not finding any sort of room. Not even getting half a yard to get the shot away.
Yeah, the clock is not on their side.
And now it's going to be a fifth. Why didn't he shoot Alejandro Ortega? In fact, Alex Rodriguez, his colleague behind him, was shrugging in disappointment. But here goes Uzbekistan! And that would have been huge had they scored there. It would have been the final kick of the first half. They would have made it 4-1 at the break instead. The shot's gone wide now, problem for another Colombian player. But it is all Colombia thus far. They're in control.
All happening, though. What an end to this match. 4 marks to the Uzbekistan keeper again, and receives treatment there. Must have been a bit of trouble. Be hoping he can continue there. We just took a real knock there. We need to check a replay, but the vision was impressive to play in his teammate.
Jorge Faustino there, the referee, just checking in on the condition of Alejandro Ortega. That was Alex Rodriguez getting barged there, but it was Ortega trying to win the slide challenge, desperately trying to make his mark at both ends of the court, and I think he might have just grazed his knee actually because he hurt yourself. Let's hear to the timeout.
Estamos haciendo un trabajo espectacular, descánsale. Va Ángelo con Pala arriba. Ángelo y Pala los dos arriba. Va la Fiera por derecha, Guti Lobón y Perea por izquierda. Vamos a competir, vamos a meter uno más y luego jugamos, tenemos la pelota, tú agárrala y tenla. Vamos que ellos se desesperen y peguen alguna patada. Dale.
borgandan keyin ozgina kontakt qilinglar, kontakt bo'lsin. Sal qattiqroq. Или давай Ali chiqsan hozir. Yezina bo'shto'ga. Давай Ali. Jas bilan keling. Хорошо? Ikkita Shahriy bilan qara pastida 3ta chiqib ol.
Here we go then, the countdown is on for the second half, and Colombia kept a clean sheet in the first. They'd love a shutout come the end of 40 minutes. No guarantee they'll be able to achieve it, especially with so many different features now kicking in. We are into the second half, so we'll soon learn the identity of those secret cards, which can only be played in the second period of matches, as Danielson tries his luck straight at the goalkeeper. We have already seen the two presidential penalties, so we won't see those now. But come the 38-minute mark, Thomas, what's going to happen?
Yeah, come the 38-minute mark, you cannot use those secret cards. You have to use them, well, as you see fit before that 38-minute mark. And then as we go into those final 2 minutes, should it be like this way with Colombia leading, then the goals would be worth double. But Uzbekistan have a huge task on their hands. Interesting to see what the secret card is. If it's Uzbekistan have, say, a goal's worth double, I don't think there'll be much use to them right now, because they haven't really been that threatening in the final third. You've got to hope for them it's a shootout, perhaps, or a penalty, or a suspension, take away a play, give them a bit of numerical advantage. You've got to hope for something that can really help them out in a situation like this.
Absolutely. Good work again from the Colombians. Here's Angelot. Ball was partially intercepted there. And I guess the ideal card to draw is the Joker. Then they could choose exactly which card they would want.
That would be spot on.
But yeah, I tend to agree. I think the penalty is probably the best option at this stage. Get the best possible chance of scoring a goal, getting on the board and giving Colombia something to think about. A shootout we've seen is fraught with difficulty and danger. There's no guarantee you'll score that. And a double goal is, of course, relying on the fact that you need to create chances for open play in the first place, something they haven't yet achieved.
Yeah, or a star player as well. That wouldn't really give them much right now. Whereas for
Chabarov's
Colombia, it'd
been
be
very
great.
quiet.
It'd be great if they had that for Colombia, for example, because they do give you the impression they can score. So they probably would be hoping for a star player or a goals worth double. We'll see, Patrick. Who knows what's been picked from the cards?
You and I mentioned Renato Sanchez the other day, and when he passed it to the advertising hoardings during his time with Swansea. Well, there, unfortunately, there's not exactly a kick clash, but in a certain light here, the Uzbek white shirts could be slightly confused for the referee's lime green, and that is what happened, I think, there.
Yeah, exactly. Have to be very careful indeed as Colombia try and extend their lead here. Patrick, Uzbekistan have, well, scrappy from both sides, I have to say. Can Colombia get that fifth goal and make it adios to Uzbekistan? We'll wait and see. Reminder, the final in Turin on the 12th of January in the Allianz Stadium. We'll see whether Colombia will be there, or who knows, Uzbekistan. There is still time left, and of course those secret cards, a fun that we played at the Allianz Stadium thanks to the support of the Regione Piemonte, the Comune di Torino, the Città Metropolitana di Torino, the Fondazione per la Cultura Aniren.
Angelot was nearly through there. Angelot saved by the goalkeeper. A reminder, if you don't speak Italian, those are our institutional partners, the region of Piedmont, which Turin is capital of, the city of Turin, the city council, and the cultural foundation as well of the city itself. They've all helped to make this event possible, along with our sponsors as well, the likes of Spotify and Red Bull. And we thank our hosts, Vismara, so courtesy of AC Milan and indeed Juventus, laying on Allianz Stadium for us on Sunday. I can't wait to be there to see the likes of Kun Agüero, who we'll see as well in action for Argentina in the quarterfinals there up tomorrow, along with Casillas, Buffon and Andrea Pirlo, a match between the legends and the streamers.
Amazing. Some household names, some cultural legends, some football legends, some Premier League legends, all strutting their stuff ahead of the fight. It'd just be the perfect way just to lift the curtain up on what's going to be a great day in a beautiful city, a stunning city.
And it is mixed teams as well, lest we forget, so it's not going to be the legends on one side against the streamers on the other, which means that we could have a Pirlo penalty. I do wonder whether he might go for the Kukiai or the Panenka if he were up against the likes of Buffon or Casillas. Chabarov there has gone clattering into Denilson, who's down holding his face. Some of the Colombian players unhappy with the Uzbekistan number 9. James Rodriguez is being giving his reaction to every major incident. That was a little bit naughty there from the number 9, went charging in from the side, and surprised that Jorge Faustino didn't have a word, at least, if not produce a yellow card for Shakri or Chabarov.
Yeah, it was unnecessary. Also that part of the pitch as well. What are you doing? He's a lucky lad, indeed, but we've seen the referees try their very best to keep their cards in the pocket and let the game flow as much as possible, as we saw then. But all okay, back up on his feet, and we're back underway. And Colombia just in control, just protecting their advantage. Why not? Why not? No need to really force the issue, open themselves up, take any unnecessary risks. Who knows what card they've got? They would love a penalty, I think, or that would be really good for them. A penalty would be perfect for them.
A reminder, later on we've got the second semi-final, the United States against Morocco. The Moroccans are already in the house. They are currently populating the goal behind Camilo Mena, the Colombian keeper, as Uzbekistan plot a route back into this match. Denilson Lobon again shipping it out very easily indeed. But Morocco up against the Americans. The Americans do have some compatriots that are based in Serie A who we might be hearing from later. No spoilers there, but if you are familiar with Serie A and some of the Americans that play in the league, you might be able to put 2 and 2 together, but you'll see whether you're right in due course. Meantime, Colombia switching it long towards Denilson. But Thomas,
yes,
my hunch is that Morocco might just get the better of the United States, but if the US were to beat Morocco, that means that they would probably have enough to really test Colombia if it is going to be the Cafeteros in the quarterfinals. So far it's looking that way, but I don't see any potential semi-final featuring Colombia being as one-sided as this quarterfinal has been thus far.
No, absolutely not, absolutely not. Because for me, you mentioned how you've really enjoyed Colombia. For you, perhaps from what you've seen on the evidence in the best teams, for me, Morocco in the past 2 have been like that. So we're going to see 2 teams that have the potential to go all the way, as it's nodded out and we have a secret card. So this is the big moment. Let's see what the Uzbekistan Spotify secret card is.
big moment here. They'd love the joker. That gives them free rein to select what they want, but otherwise they are at the mercy of whatever is drawn here. The Spotify secret card.
We don't have card. Okay. Suspension, 4 minutes, number 2, Colombia.
Well, that's not bad.
They've taken off Denilson, Lobon, and personally, Thomas, I have never graced the Kings League. I'd love to one day. Maybe when we have a Legends against Casters match, I would hope that if the suspension card came up, that the opposition would choose me. I think it's a badge of honour. It really is. Flattery will get you everywhere. You know, it's basically saying we fear you, we respect you, we don't want to see you for another couple of minutes. And maybe it'll be easier now for Jabarov to find space because Denilson was marking him like a straitjacket.
Absolutely, absolutely. And maybe if I can gather enough money one day and have my own team, Patrick, then I can put you in my team. That's another option. That's one way we could potentially be rubbing shoulders with these guys, but it is unlikely.
Yes, it looks very unlikely at this stage. I've taken the wind out of Thomas Lawrence there because whilst I was talking about tight marking with a straitjacket, I literally grabbed hold of him, had a little squeeze, and so I knocked the wind out of him. So I apologise if it does become a one-man show, one-man broadcast, then that is my fault. And it's intercepted here by Colombia, but he can't quite get to the loose ball. He might just get there. Terrific commitment to go with the diving header. Nothing doing, says Jorge Faustino, our match official. But that was nearly 5-0, and that was nearly game over. Yeah,
very nearly game over indeed. It might have been for a moment, a one-man commentary. This has been a very much one-sided game. Unless Uzbekistan can capitalise on this numerical advantage. It doesn't look like it, though, Patrick. It hasn't really changed much at all. Not the ideal card, as we were saying.
Yeah, and I don't know whether we have a confectionery partner here at the Kings League. I know you've been wolfing down some sweets.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, actually, whether you were choking there on some of the treats that you've been quaffing down, your dad's snacks, because I don't think I necessarily grabbed you as hard as I could have done.
Well, you know, it was the Befana this week in Italy, on the 6th of January, which brings chocolates and sweets to children. So I took a few from my daughter, I must admit, ahead of this match. Why not? Why not? We need our energy levels for this high energy competition, although this second half isn't quite that high energy because Colombia taking their foot off the gas as the shot comes. It had also a cheeky red ball as well. Why not?
Yeah, and it's interesting because the way Colombia have played, you might be able to compare how easily they found this as like taking candy from a baby, which is what you literally did with baby G.
Exactly. Poor old baby Grace. I'm sorry, Daddy will bring home some sweets the next couple of days.
That's a clever ball. He's got to finish. He does finish. Javlon Beck, game on. Uzbekistan on the board. They're back to within 3. And all of a sudden, Colombia's veneer of confidence has just been chipped away.
This is why we love the Kings League, Patrick. This is why we adore it. This is why it's growing all the time. Just when we're saying how Uzbekistan look down and out, Colombia marching on, they will avoid this team, will avoid that team. Uzbekistan get a goal. It's a confidence game.
But here go Colombia. Good goalkeeping to keep out John Palacios. And all of a sudden, Uzbekistan with 2 key moments. They scored at one end. They kept out an almost certain goal at the other. And they're plotting their second here if they can get the ball into the mixer. It's all about the final ball here. It's overhit, but Jabarov has kept it in play well. John Palacios with a firm sliding challenge, a fair one though as well. It is an Uzbek ball, and if they could score again here, Thomas, they'd be back to within 2. It's the reverse pass for Jabarov. Still going here. Kings League's answer to Eldor Shomurodov, from whom we heard earlier on. But hang on, here's Angelot. Dale comes the cry from James Rodriguez et al. Colombia still very much in charge, still with a 3-goal lead, but we have seen, here's a chance, and Guti got it all wrong. We have seen that without that man on the pitch, Denilson Lobon, they're still without him for another 30 seconds or so. Colombia can be vulnerable defensively, and Javlon Beck in particular showed that much.
Yeah, can they get another one? Then going into those final 2 minutes when goals are worth double, if they can just narrow it down to a 2-goal disadvantage. But looks like Denilson's all set to come on. So overall, I think Colombia would take that. They just lead just the 1 goal in that 4-minute period. Now the power is evaporated. It's over.
And here's Angelot. Oh, he was caught. It's outside the box, but it's a yellow card. That's a sin bin. Uzbekistan down to 6. Colombia remain with 7. And for 2 minutes now, Colombia are going to have an overload. And they can still play their secret card too. So, advantage very much with Los Cafeteros. They're 4-1 up. They'll play with an extra man for 2 minutes. And they can still play their trump card.
And now the tide is back in favour of Colombia. It's now 7 against 6. Little glance to the watch from James Rodriguez. Time very much ticking away. And now it's Colombia in that pole position to march on as we can listen into the referee slightly.
Well, no, it's quite helpful actually, because they are all Spanish speakers. We get the definitive, the authentic pronunciation there of saying Angelot. So nice to hear that. What I've been calling has been backed up by Jorge Faustino. Good strike, good save though at the near post. It was that man, Alejandro Ortega, who is certainly in the running for player of the tournament, if not team of the tournament as well. But a reminder, we're going to see the reigning Corona de Oro in action later on, which is Kings League's answer to the best player in the world. That is Nadir Lua. He'll be playing for Mexico against the United States. Offside.
So Patrick, we're not the only ones obviously tuned in right now. It's incredible, the numbers. Over 1 million all across the world are following this match. And make sure you stick with us for the next one as well. How impressive. Just shows the importance of the Kings League's popularity.
It does indeed. Don't get tongue-tied, Thomas, knowing how many ears are on you at this moment in time. Another look at that skill from Angelot, which very nearly produced the 5th goal for Colombia. It was off target. It was up in any case.
Yeah.
Mansurov still has another minute to elapse before he's coming back on. He was the player who was sin bin. A reminder, a yellow card is 2 minutes without the player that committed the offence. A red card is 5 minutes without that player who can no longer feature. 5 minutes without a player all told. That player can no longer feature. They're suspended for the next game, but mercifully for the Uzbeks, that did not come to pass. Here's Alex Rodriguez. Back for Angelot. They're just taking their time here, Colombia. They don't want Uzbekistan to get back within 1 goal, but we've also seen that this 3-goal cushion can be dangerous, because if they can score twice, Uzbekistan, they would go from 4-1 down to 5-4 up, provided those 2 goals came after the 38-minute mark. And we saw it a little bit with Uzbekistan against Peru. They were 3-0 up.
What a game.
Peru scored twice, then they scored again in that power play at the end to make it 4-3. That goal counted double, but then Uzbekistan did likewise to win it 5-4 with the buzzer beater from Tuksatinov. Here goes Angelot.
In fact, Colombia haven't played their secret card as yet. Makes me think it could be a penalty or a shootout, because we're into that final 4 minutes, so it can't be a goals worth double, obviously. So that played by Uzbekistan. Maybe it's a joker. We'll wait and see. Suspension, no, because again it's only 4 minutes.
Yeah, a joker, which in Italian is jolly, which is also the word that they use for a very versatile player, someone that can pop up in any position really and do a job, and Colombia have certainly plenty of those in the side. I think the English equivalent is a handyman.
Yeah, utility man maybe. Yeah. It's the versatile.
Too high for Ortega there. A bit more urgency now about Uzbekistan, understandably so. Someone needs to take a shot from outside the box. We are in Milan, and the Milan head coach Sergio Conceição, the newly appointed head coach, said you can pray all you want to win the lottery, but if you don't buy a ticket, you won't win it. Who's going to buy the ticket here? They've not taken it on. Angelot, meantime, under pressure. Excellent close control once again. Colombia back with Denilson Lobon on the pitch again here, darting forward and finding his skipper. Wide it goes for Ortega. He's kept it in play. Can Ortega find a colleague? He can't, but he did keep the ball in play, and a round of applause from James Rodriguez out of shot.
Yeah, Milan so fresh from winning the Super Cup the other day against Inter.
That was nearly a free header there, just too high in the end for Luis Moreno, wearing 4. But the great thing about this Colombian side is that we have seen, I think, every single one on their roster, perhaps with the, well, I was about to say without the exception of Jovan Cardenas, but he's now on because we saw Camilo Mena earlier on. Now it's the other goalkeeper between the sticks. And they're running out of time, Uzbekistan. They've got 90 seconds or thereabouts until the 38-minute mark, by which time we will have goals counting for double at this stage. It would be very improbable for us to have a golden goal period. That would involve Uzbekistan scoring 3 times without reply in the next minute or so. Hugely unlikely.
And I said, we're approaching that final minute, so it makes me think Colombia have a penalty perhaps as their secret card.
Denilson won it back. Colombia want to get the shot away. They can't manage it. Penalty as a secret card could be very telling. So too could this opportunity. And it's buried beautifully by Jair Perez. The 4-goal cushion is re-established. And Colombia look like they're marching on to the semi-finals.
It is a high five from Colombia. 5-star showing, and they've called their secret card now as well, which will surely put them well out of sight. I cannot see Uzbekistan scoring, really. They haven't given me that impression. Oh, VAR perhaps. Let's listen in.
Check.
Well, James Rodriguez was immediately gesticulating as to say, why are they looking at this? But that is why. Check in progress. Was that a foul by Jair Perez? It certainly looks like he did go through the back of Lazibek, side of.
Foul in attack.
Confirmation. Foul in attack, says our match official. The goal does not stand. It remains 4-1. And James Rodriguez gobsmacked.
But they still got that secret card though. Unable to make it 5-1, but they're still in a strong position. Uzbekistan, I think, just wants to get into his final 2 minutes now. So give it
here
away
goes
again.
Jair Perez. He wanted to score, determined to get his goal, having had that previous one disallowed for the foul in the build-up. Secret card time.
Here we go. What's in the box?
Penalty shootout for Colombia.
So yeah, not a penalty, a traditional penalty, a shootout, very much ice hockey style, MLS in the late 90s. So still a great opportunity, but not quite the same sort of certainty and scoring rate as a penalty. But if you get it right, you pull it off.
Yeah, it reminds me of when you've got a trolley in the supermarket and you're heading towards the tills and you see an open till and you want to try and get there before another shopper in front of you. Can you pick the right lane before them? So, Alex Rodriguez, he's the man over this, being watched by his namesake, James Rodriguez denied from a penalty. Can Alexander Rodriguez score with the shootout? He can't. It's a bad day for those named Rodriguez. It remains 4-1.
Oh, he did so well to put himself into that shooting position. Unable to apply that finishing touch though. But he did really well. He put himself in a great position for me. Just that lack of cutting edge. We now go into his final.
Big slice.
Yeah, that shot. Didn't execute it well enough. Goals worth double then, these final 2 minutes. So Uzbekistan would need to score, again if my math serves me correctly, twice to go ahead. But then it's the same applies for Colombia as well. So Colombia still remain in pole position. It's theirs to throw away. I cannot see them fumbling this.
Nice to see goals being worth double. I remember as a kid watching European matches and my dad explaining to me that away goals counted double. I genuinely thought that rather than them being a tiebreaker as they actually were, that if you scored twice on the road, it actually counted for 4. It didn't. All it meant was, in the event of a tie, the away goals, those that had more away goals, would eventually win the match. Whereas here, they literally count for double. So if Uzbekistan were to score, it would suddenly go from 4-1 to 4-3. That's a sliding challenge. Oh dear, oh dear. It is a yellow, and that might well be a pivotal moment in what remains, because this is a period of 2 minutes plus added time, and for the entirety of that 2 minutes, almost excluded added time, Uzbekistan will be without their number 5, Lazibek Saidov. Big blow for them.
Absolutely. In the meantime, you can vote for your MVP. All you need to do is get on Twitch and write the name of the person you think should be the star man from this match. I would say Camilo. I don't know about you, Patrick. And a reminder also, looking ahead, USA against Morocco. We've got some big messages as well held over the match from some players who actually ply their trade in Serie A, but are USA internationals.
Absolutely. We'll have some stars that wear stripes that will be giving a rallying cry to their compatriots later on. Here's a chance with the extra man, John Palacios, who got the scoring started in the first place, nearly got another one there for Colombia, which would have ended any residual hope for the Uzbeks, would have made it 6-1 instead. Good piece of goalkeeping, and they needed it as well. But in terms of man of the match, yes, Camilo Mena has certainly pitched in with a goal and an assist, albeit he's been a spectator for much of the second half, replaced by the other keeper, Jovan Cardenas. So I might go, in fact, for Danielson. Yes, he hasn't scored, but he's been a rock at the back, and if Colombia have only conceded once, it's thanks to him, especially because that goal came when he was actually taken off the pitch by that secret card from Uzbekistan. Here's a chance. Lovely skill, beautiful finish. That will end any chance Uzbekistan had. Colombia are en route to the last four, and the goal was beautifully taken by Axur Quintero.
It was beautiful. It is gorgeous. It was a bonito. I don't know if you can say that in Spanish, Patrick, or not, but it was wonderful. And now it really is adios to Uzbekistan. Colombia march on. They've been far too strong. They've been clinical again. It's clinical Colombia. I said that's the adjective that immediately springs to mind. Clinical cafeteros.
Indeed, with a cutting edge as well. They have diced up Uzbekistan. And that's why Uzbekistan, despite their heroics yesterday, it's a step too far for them today. They did well just to get past Peru. Lest we forget, they were heading out until deep into added time, so for them to even take their place in a quarter-final at this first ever edition of the Kings World Cup Nations was impressive enough as it is. But Colombia's greater quality has told, and we saw it right from the outset when they had that big lead, 4-1 up. It was only Javlonbek who scored once to at least get them a consolation, as it will prove. But here's Jabarov, he's not giving up hope yet, and had that gone in, you never know, that would have made it 6-3, but we're into added time. They are now back to 7 players, incidentally, Uzbekistan, but 1 minute of the 2 added have already been played, and James Rodriguez will be leading the celebrations there. It might be a bit sheepish, having missed his penalty, the Presi for the day. But here goes Angelot. Colombia would love to score one more, so too would Uzbekistan, to give Islam and their other followers something to cheer about. Islam, their president, a reminder of that. Danielson still charging into challenges. Who's going to have the final shot of the match? Tuksatinov, who had the goal that got them here, is the player lurking on the edge of the box wearing 23. Instead, it's his teammate who tries his knock. It's off target. It will be a corner, and with this, corner incidentally from the same side from where Alejandro Ortega scored the golden goal against Turkey. How big was that for Colombia? The greater rest may well have told for them as well today. Uzbekistan were in action until late last evening. They played the first game tonight, but the 2 added minutes have been played. There goes the full-time whistle. Colombia, the first team through to the last 4 of the Kings World Cup Nations. We have our first semi-finalists, and Colombia deserved winners by 6 goals to 1.
Uzbekistan, aka the unwanted boys, now the eliminated boys here at Vismara, but they do go out with their heads held high. Who would have said it was Uzbekistan going through to the final? But full marks to Colombia, and their MVP Camilo put his name on the score sheet. Big win, no penalty converted by James Rodriguez, but no bearing overall on the final outcome of the match. So Colombia, the first semi-finalists.
Colombia are going to get the party started after this. 6-1 winners, thanks to 5 separate goals. The 5th and final goal counted for double because it came in the final 2 minutes, and they really shared the goals around. Palacios, Camilo Mena, Guti, Alejandro Ortega, and finally it was Quintero. So 5 different scorers for Colombia, proving the point that they can hurt you. It's death by 1,000 cuts when you come up against Los Cafeteros. They will go through, and we're about to find out which team they'll be playing in the first semi-final. The United States and Mexico are now on court. James Rodriguez is still the player that will be getting all of the adulation despite missing his presidential penalty. And a recap of the stats, Thomas, from Colombia 6, Uzbekistan 1.
Despite the penalty miss, Colombia at their very best, their goal-scoring best. It's another big win for Colombia. As we see, they're the first team to reach the final 4, and now USA and Morocco out on the pitch warming up. Who will join them in the final 4? Before we enjoy, though, USA against Morocco. Let's look back, Patrick, at the highlights from that clinical performance. And I've said it again, Mr. Repetitive, but they really are clinical. They have that cutting edge as they enjoy this moment, savour this moment, and we're also now going to savour that performance once again from Colombia, who sent Uzbekistan crashing out of the competition. And we are back. What a performance that was. But now it's the turn of USA against Morocco. USA 2 from 2, Morocco 2 from 3 in terms of games played so far. Who will be facing Colombia in the semi-finals, in the final four? Will it be the stars and stripes of USA or the red of Morocco? We'll find out shortly. Morocco lined up awaiting the anthem.
USA, the
USA.
masters of showtime. Probably the word that best defines the Kings competition. To win, they've brought together experience and power to knock out all opponents until only one remains. Morocco, the first representative of the African continent at Kings. Its always echo a song about victory yet to come. The victory that will crown them. The victory of the Kings.
And now, before we get started, we are going to have a couple of messages of support, which has been a key theme here at the Kings League. And we are going to hear first and foremost from Eduardo Cortés, Pollo, the goalkeeper.
Well, you know how I feel about you guys. You know, I go running through a wall, through whatever I have to come out here and represent the U.S. And for you, every single one of you guys that come from a different background, that are out here, you know, all the way in Italy, where we didn't really garner much respect when we first came here, but we each knew that we were going to come and try to win this shit. And I still believe, and wholeheartedly, that we can go out and win this shit. So whatever it is, I don't give a fuck. Let's get this shit going. You guys know how I feel about us. Let's go ahead and represent the country that gave us the opportunity to be here, okay?
We apologise for some bad language there.
Nah, guys, like he said, a lot of people here, you know, being American, you have a lot of people that doubt you, So obviously you see they got a whole support, but we about to send them home crying, all right? So that's what's up. Put on for USA. We got a couple other messages from a couple guys that couldn't be here, but always represent and be proud.
And here comes Christian Pulisic.
Hey guys, it's Christian Pulisic here. Just want to wish you guys, Team USA, all the best in the quarterfinals. I'll be rooting for you guys, and yeah, man, just wishing you all the best.
What's up, fellas? It's Timmy Wade here. I just wanted to show some love and send my support for tonight's game. And, you know, we're waiting for Torino for the final, man. We can't wait to be there and supporting you guys in person. So, hold up, man. We're going to show love for sure, man. You know, bring the chip home for sure.
There you have it, Tim Weah and Christian Pulisic, both who are recently in action in Saudi Arabia in the EA Sports FC Super Cup. Milan winning it thanks to a goal from Pulisic, coming back from 2-0 down against Inter to win by 3-2. Now it's the turn of the Moroccans.
And their president, إلياس, will do the speech and present a video with the families representing Moroccan players.
السلام عليكم الدراري. السلام عليكم. كتسمعوني الدراري؟ كتسمعوني؟ وي السلام عليكم. كنبغي نشكركم على هاد الثمن النهائي اللي وصلتوا لينا ليه، وخاصكم تعرفوا بان الشعب المغربي كامل فخور بكم، وراكم هزيتوا لنا الرايه ديال بلادنا ايطاليا، وشكرا لكم كاملين على المجهود اللي درتوه الجبار، وبغيناكم تكملوا اليوم ونربحوا ان شاء الله امريكا، وغادي نفرحوا لا شعبنا لا ملكنا لا الجاليه المغربيه، وعرفكم اسبوعها وقدها، وجيبوا اللقب من اجل الشعب المغربي من الصحراء الى البوغاز. تحية لكم ونفرحوا بكم.
Bonjour à tout le monde, bon courage. Ce match est très important, on doit gagner. Bon courage à tout le monde. On est fiers de vous, on vous fait confiance. Et bon courage papa.
We love you, Dad, and the whole country is proud of you. We know you're going to win because we believe in you. Good luck.
Je t'aime papa et nous sommes très fiers de toi. Bonne chance. نفتخر بكم ديما المغرب.
السلام عليكم، معكم ماما سمسيريرة. الله يسهل عليكم والله يوفقكم اليوم ان شاء الله، وتجيبوا لنا الربح ان شاء الله مربوحة وديما مغرب.
نعم بابا، كي داير لاباس الحمد لله. نتمنىكم في هذا الماتش ان شاء الله تربحوا، توصلوا فينا وتفرحونا وديوها. بون كورج.
السلام بابا، كي داير؟ مزيان بخير ان شاء الله تكون مزيان اليوم ان شاء الله. خصو يكون ربح ضروري، نشوف عليكم كلكم بون كوراج وان شاء الله فينا.
سلام بابا، ان شاء الله اليوم تربحوا.
سلام مهدي وليكي كامل، بون كوراج بور لو ماتش، الله يعاونكم مربوحه ان شاء الله. يلا فاموس.
السلام عليكم، كي داير لاباس؟ الحمد لله. عليا بوين إلياس المصري. تبارك الله عليكم، راكم شرفتونا ونحنا فرحانين بكم، والله يرضي عليكم والله ينصركم على من عاداكم، ونتمنى الله باش تكونوا هذه العشيه يعني في احسن ما يرام.
خويا سعيد، جيت من 11 رجب، بغيت نقول لك بلي من ديما وانا مآمن بيك، واليوم الحمد لله شتك في المرتبه اللي كتستحق. انا فخور بيك وسيدي عزيز، كل اليوم غادا تسهل لولا الظروف اللي يلعب ويماركي، حنا تايقين فيك. برافو لولا الظروف.
Lovely message from their family members. Family first, very emotional. Now the anthems.
The start